Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to do a little bit of buy or sell. Now I know I touched on this on Market Monday where I go over kind of a broad, wide look at how the market is going, but we have a new event coming on Friday. No longer will we have the under 22 event, so I want to touch on the cards specifically and the card types that I think that you should either sell or look to invest in going into this event. I think it's really helpful and you can make quite a few thousand coins, especially if you're free to play, or maybe you've got a couple 100,000 coins and you're not really sure what to do with your team and you can't do a huge upgrade. Investing is probably the best way for you to go, so I have a couple cards and things that you want to watch out for that I think are really going to help. Guys, if you enjoy the content, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and check me out on Twitch if you want to watch the new event live on Twitch, twitch.tv/nosleeves12. I go live at 2 p.m. Eastern to 5 p.m. Eastern every single day. Look at the new content. We'll break it down live, so make sure you check that out. All right, let's get into the video. All right, guys, and the first thing I want to talk about is just something I want to reiterate something from Market Monday, essentially, is that 87 and 88 overall players specifically have tanked so hard because of this new event. For the under 22 event required 83 specifically and 86s, and everything else just tanked in value because they aren't really sought after. I mean, right now on PlayStation 5, you can get 88 overall players for under 35,000. And honestly, these are both usable players. So if you're free to play and you're looking for players to invest in, these are extremely cheap and very, very usable. And if you go up, 40,000 seems to be where you can find the vast majority of them. If there is a set that comes out on Friday that requires 87 or 88 plus cards, these are going to shoot up in value because there just isn't a whole lot. As the overalls get higher, there's just less cards available to put those into sets. So I want you guys to be just cognizant of that. Make sure that you're investing. If you've got a couple 100,000 coins, I'm throwing my coins here to try and get some. Anything under 40,000 I think should be a good value. And even if they don't shoot up in price, like if they don't go to like 60,000 coins or anything like that, you'll be able to use them in the sets to make the new event master items. I just think that these are getting super overlooked, and I want to make sure and hammer home the point that you guys are paying attention to this because this is the first thing that is going to change when the economy gets kind of reset with the new event. Our next buy is going to be week 2 under 22 cards, and let me explain why. So as it stands right now, it costs you 7 collectibles, which costs you about 60,000 coins to make one of the choice sets where you can just choose any of the week 2 cards. But it costs you 10 to do any of the week 1 items. And on Friday, the week 2s are obviously going to move out. They're no longer the event, and it's going to cost you 10. If you go through and look at all of the week 1 cards that did come out for this event, they've all shot up to like 60, 70,000 coins. Rasmus Dahlin's going for 120. You know, Zegras well over 100. If you go through all of them, even some of the less sought after guys, you see Alex Turcotte here, he's going for like 60,000 coins. If you find any that are going for around 40, Dylan Cousins, for example, is going for under 40,000. There is going to be people that want to acquire him. First of all, Dylan Cousins is a very, very good card, and they don't want to pay to make him untradeable by paying 10 collectibles because that's just an extreme amount of value, especially if the sets change to the new event and they require 83 or 86 cards again. Then these are just going to become extremely difficult to make because it's just not worth it. So any of the cards that are going for under 40K, I mean, this Joel Farabee is a good, very, very good card. I've mentioned this in my rankings video. He might not be one of the most sought after, but 30,000 coins, I mean, if you get in, you can get a 92 early with this card come the next few weeks. I think that they should shoot up at least 50 as the baseline. So I think there is some money to be made here by buying up some of these cheaper week 2 master sets for the under 22 event and then reselling once they're out of the current event. Now, this is all speculation on my part, but you'll see here that they did the Finnish Independence Day team of the week. And obviously it's an international team, European team that they put together here, and I think that's alluding to the Winter National event. If you've played Hockey Ultimate Team for years, you know that there is a Winter National event which highlights international hockey play. Now, I don't know if they'll be able to do that again if you guys weren't around last year. Basically, the Master Set card art, this is again kind of behind the curtain, the Master Set card art for the Winter National events was actually from the NHL's World Cup from a few years ago. They have no rights or ability to put international card art in the game because they don't have, you know, the ability and the legality to actually go out and do that. They don't have a deal with the IHF. So they can't put Olympic images as their Master Set players. So that means it'd be headshots, and I really don't think they would do one of their biggest events as headshots. But that being said, they are going to do something that features international play. And if you notice in this team of the week, Sebastian Aho got an upgrade, Alexander Barkov got an upgrade, Mikko Rantanen got an upgrade. this is where I'd pay attention because, I mean, if there's any X factors of players from, like Sweden or anything like that, KOPITAR, for example, like I would almost be certain that they are going to see an upgrade from one of these team of the weeks or even the event if they do somehow manage to do an international event. I mean, I could see KOPITAR going up in price because he gets a master item. So this is just something to pay attention to because the players like Slovenia, they don't have very many other players, especially high-level ones that they could use as a master set event item. So I could totally see ANZE KOPITAR getting one of these master items. And he's still a very, very good center that you can have on your team all year long. And he's going for well under 100K, guys. This is just something, again, this is all speculation. It's just from my years of playing NHL. I don't know if they can do an international event because they don't have those rights to images, and they obviously master set card art is something that's very important to them. So I don't know how they would pull that off, but it wouldn't surprise me if there's some new deal or something like that. I have no, for sure knowledge of that. But I just wanted you guys to pay attention. I mean, KIRILL KAPRIZOV, for example, there might be something with him. Again, Russia has a few, obviously, the top end, like OV, things like that. But I could just see these guys, the international ones, getting master set players, and they're a little bit more predictive than Canada. Now, while we're talking X Factors, I want you guys to pay attention to Brayden Point. I mean, 50,000 coins. I don't like his card. I'll be completely honest with you. I don't like his card. But there are people out there that do. And honestly, he is only an 85, so his next upgrade isn't going to be super expensive. He's been hurt since November 20th, okay? He's got 13 points in 16 games, and EA has been extremely balanced. I mean, we just saw the upgrades to Pavelski and Barzal. Barzal's having an awful season, and they gave him what I'm calling charity cards so that they can upgrade, the people that have his X Factor still get some upgrades, and it keeps their cards relevant throughout the year, at least in terms of their X Factor. Brayden Point is going to get one. He does not have a new tier since launch of the game, one of the better players in the NHL. They are going to give him something, whether it's an event card, a Superstar Origin card, and when they do, and that new upgrade happens, we saw it with Barzal. He was going for I couldn't even sell him for 70K. The very next day, his international card, or his Superstar Origin card came out, and he shot up to well over 130. It's just, guys, it's people that they don't see the investment points, and when they oh my God, Brayden Point got an upgrade, I got to go buy him. They're not realizing that might not be a great investment, but they're going to spend more money because it's the new hotness. So Brayden Point is my next focus. I think if you guys have a couple 100,000 coins, it's pretty safe at 50,000 coins because no matter what, he's such a good card. When he comes back, he's going to get some Team of the Week or Prime Times at some point. And even if they don't, they're going to give him a card to upgrade. So Brayden Point is high on my list in terms of interest in the market. So guys, the other thing, again, total speculation, but this is just me trying to spitball and trying to give you guys maybe a huge leg up that doesn't cost a lot. Go and take a look at some of the international jerseys because I think there's probably going to be sets if they do an international event where it requires a jersey trade-in. So in all honesty, just go and buy one of every country and cover all of your bases. All of the, the major power hockey countries, go and buy all of those, and then you're just covered. You're not, you know what I mean? To buy, Team USA, or maybe even let's go with Germany here for this German jersey, with 2,000, I mean, I wouldn't spend 5 on it, but 2,000, okay. Even if it doesn't become something, it's not going to cost you a ton, but it could come out huge for you, and it's just something I want you to pay attention to, because every once in a while, they do throw these kind of sets and trade-ins into the event, and you want to be ahead of it, because if you're not, then you're paying the max for each of these, and I just think that if you find one that's going for the bare minimum, this could be a nice investment. Talk about some sells now. Honestly, I would sell all of my 83s. I know we've talked about, obviously you're going to need those to make the collectibles, to make the new master sets for the Under-22 event. But there is a strong possibility that the next event does not have a hard 83 overall item to use for these sets. And you can make out a bandit, because what's going to happen is once that 80, let's say it's an 84 plus set, not an 83, and which would make sense because obviously the overalls of these events are going to increase as time goes along. They're going to require more, higher overall cards. If it's an 84, the 83s are going to tank down to almost bare minimum. So we're almost near the end of the event. People are going to get hectic trying to make some of these cards before it ends. I would sell all of my 83s for the going rate, which is 6K, because if you don't, and the next event comes out and it doesn't require an 83 specifically, then you're going to lose out on thousands of coins. So just a huge sell for me right now. I think that this is one of the safer sells in all honesty. Now, I just want to talk about as well the master sets from week 1. I mentioned that the week 2s are kind of a buy at 40K and under because I think you'll be able to sell them for more. If you get tradable week 1s, or you still have tradable week 1s, maybe not using, this isn't going to be a very common situation, I would sell those because I think that they're going to become, it's a very weird situation. Like, I think they're going for too much. They're going to come down in price, like some of the more expensive ones. I mean, like Rasmus Dahlin, for example, I think that he'll come down to like 100K because you can still make him, right? Like, you can still make him for 10 collectibles. You can do that choice set. So I think that those ones will come down. I would probably sell them now just to be safe and then save your coins. But I mean, obviously not a lot of people are going to have tradable ones that they haven't upgraded. I would sell the week 1 items now instead of holding them to the event and then their value crash a little bit more, as opposed to week 2 where they will go up. Lastly, guys, I want to talk about some selling in terms of the icons. So I went through on my last stream all of the icons and just saw what the new tier is. So at the first of the month, guys, they get a new tier bump, and that's huge. But as the month goes along, that +1 to everything, except speed, it's only 0.5, means less and less because new higher overall cards are going to come out. Honestly, I'm not taking any icons unless it's like Lemieux or Gretzky, and there is just no way, unless you are, a billionaire at this point, that you're going to be able to afford these guys. Because, I mean, Mario, they gave him Distributor and Thief, which is mind-boggling, and I love, but you're not going to be able to. Even TEEMU SELANNE, who's one of the more sought-after ones, he's going for so much. Then you have to pay the, 170,000 to get him up to an 89. He's so good, don't get me wrong, but that's a million coin card. All of the other ones, guys, if you see a price bump, like they've gone up in price, it's only going to go down as the month goes along. So if you're on the fence, like for me, I've talked about it in my last video, my team update. I have Paul Coffey. I'm really wrestling with keeping Paul Coffey. He is one of the ones where I think it's like, he could be very good at the end of the year come GWC time, but right now it's not as good, but he will upgrade. So I'm just selling all of my icons because, like I said, as the month goes along, they're just not going to be nearly as valuable. All right, guys, so that is going to do it for this week's buy or sell. Let me know what you think in the comments section down below, and I hope you come out for the new event tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern time on Twitch, twitch.tv/nosleeves12. I'll see you then. Have a good one, guys.